Tonight, we're stepping into something truly terrifying. We're talking about real-life stories where sheer survival came down to one thing: a hidden room.
Yeah, these aren't movie plots.
No, these are true accounts. Home invasions, attempted abductions, all stopped by a panic room, basically. And usually you find there's this element of just unbelievable luck involved, too.
Well, it's fascinating when you look at it, the amount of planning, the money involved in these high-security setups.
Huge amounts.
Exactly. But then these stories show that the actual moment, the thing that tips the balance between life and death, it's often something tiny, unpredictable.
Something you just couldn't plan for.
Precisely. It's preparedness meeting, well, pure chance. An anomaly.
Okay, let's get into the first one. This story is chilling. It's driven by revenge, and it takes us to Nigeria, a summer house, back in July 2008.
Right?
So the family is there, a mother, her son, her brother, and they had a German Shepherd. And they weren't just random targets. This was personal. This was about murder.
Yeah, there's a backstory here.
There is. Almost exactly a year before, there was another robbery attempt at the same house. It went wrong, and one of the robbers was actually shot and killed by the security guard who was with a relative visiting them.
So this wasn't about valuables this time.
No, this was payback, settling the score.
And because of that first incident, they'd seriously upgraded security, right?
Oh, massively. The place became like a fortress. Every single door, inside and out, was replaced. We're talking heavy, bolted, bulletproof metal doors.
Wow. So the whole house was essentially a series of safe rooms.
Pretty much. Redundant locks, everything. You could seal off sections.
Okay, so the attack itself, when did it start?
Just after midnight. And it went on for over 2 hours. These guys came prepared with drills, heavy hammers. Yeah. They went straight for the metal front door.
Making a huge racket, presumably.
A massive, relentless noise. They clearly didn't care who heard. The mother wakes up, realizes what's happening, and then discovers her mobile phone has no signal. It had been disabled remotely. They were completely trapped, no way to call out.
And that confirmed the intent right there, that this was planned, targeted.
Absolutely. And then, when the mother ran to her bedroom window and actually screamed for help, one of the guys outside fired a shot.
Fired at her.
It missed her, hit the wall just below the window frame, but yeah, that bullet hole proved it. Yes. This wasn't about stealing things. They were there to kill them.
So they're drilling the front door for how long?
An hour and a half. Yeah. Just relentless hammering and drilling on that reinforced door. They were so focused on getting through the main entrance.
If they missed something.
Yeah, they completely failed to notice the huge balcony right above the front door. It took them 90 minutes before one of them finally looked up.
Unbelievable.
So then they smashed the glass balcony door, got inside the house that way, and then they could just unbolt the main front doors from the inside.
Okay, so the invaders are inside the house now. Where's the family?
They're hiding. The mother, son, and brother are all crammed into the mother's tiny closet room. Like a walk-in closet space.
And the dog. The German Shepherd.
Right, Jack. And here's the thing that, well, just unexplainable. This dog, Jack, apparently never stopped barking. Barked at everything.
Yeah, typical shepherd.
But that night, during this whole terrifying ordeal, he was completely silent. Not a sound.
Wow, that's critical.
It was the miracle they needed.
Yeah.
Because when the men got inside, they realized the internal doors were also metal and bulletproof.
So they still couldn't just roam freely.
Exactly. And because Jack was silent, they didn't know which room the family was in. They actually started drilling the wrong bedroom door, the one directly opposite the closet.
So if the dog had barked even once...
They didn't know exactly where to focus. It's incredible. All that high-tech security. Less useful in that moment than a dog just staying quiet.
It really is. Okay, so what finally saved them? How did it end?
Another mistake. A fluke, really. Yeah. Pure human error on the attacker's part.
What happened?
Their plan was to call the mother's phone, assuming they could get through eventually, and threaten her driver, a guy named Justin, if she didn't open the internal doors. But whoever saved the phone numbers had the mother's number, and the grandmother's number saved under really similar names in the phone.
Oh, no.
Oh, yes. They accidentally called the grandmother, who wasn't even in the house. She was in a totally different city.
So they delivered the threat to someone completely safe.
Exactly. And the grandmother, obviously terrified but safe, immediately called the police commissioner in Lagos directly.
Our move.
About 2 hours after the whole thing started, they heard police sirens approaching. The men just fled, vanished.
And the family?
It took them another 20 minutes just to get the courage to open the closet door. They were terrified it was a trick by the attackers.
I can only imagine.
They basically packed their bags right then and left the country soon after. As they drove away, they saw that bullet hole in the wall. A final reminder.
Incredible. Saved by a silent dog and a misdialed number, despite bulletproof doors.
Yeah. Structure helped, but luck sealed it. Okay, so that was Nigeria brute force versus fortification. Let's shift gears now. California, 2015. This time the weapon was stealth.
Right, a different kind of invasion.
This is the story people call the Uncle Pete incident.
Yeah.
He was a wealthy guy, massive house, the whole 9 yards, high-tech security, big gates, cameras everywhere.
Which raises the immediate question, how does someone get in if you've got all that perimeter defense?
Exactly. So Pete gets home from the golf range, just unwinding. Cameras show nothing unusual outside. The alarm system is set. He lives alone, so he cranks up the TV volume, settles in.
Okay, seems normal enough.
But his security focus was all external. The gates, the doors, the windows, the weak point, the inside of his garage, unmonitored space, and the moment of discovery is pure movie terror, but real. He's watching TV, the screen is huge, and during a scene change, it fades to black for a second.
Like a mirror.
Exactly like a mirror. And in the reflection, he sees a figure standing right behind him, inside his house.
Oh my God, the shock of that.
It is immense. But that shock, seeing the reflection, a guy dressed in overalls, wearing a surgical mask and sunglasses, holding a taser.
That immediate visual threat.
It spurred him into action. He didn't freeze. He just bolted, made a break straight for his safe room.
Which was where?
Hidden, very cleverly hidden behind a large decorative mirror in his master bedroom.
Got it. So he makes it inside the safe room.
Yep, an impenetrable vault, basically.
Yeah.
Separate air, separate phone line, the whole setup. He gets on the internal phone, calls the police.
And when the police arrive?
They check the whole perimeter. Nothing. No broken windows, no forced doors. The external security system worked perfectly, yet the intruder got inside.
So how? The garage.
That's the only explanation they could come up with. The attacker must have hidden in the trunk of Pete's car back at the golf range.
Wait, in the trunk?
In the trunk. Somehow managed to keep the lid just slightly ajar so it didn't latch completely. Then, when Pete parked inside the garage, the one place without cameras, the attacker slipped out.
That is audacious and terrifying. It bypasses everything.
Totally bypasses. It wasn't a tech failure. It was exploiting a human blind spot. Relying too much on the tech, maybe, not checking the car.
And they confirmed this wasn't just some random burglary.
Oh, absolutely. What the police found later in the trunk of Pete's car removed all doubt. They found towels, cable ties, and a hammer.
Okay, yeah. That's not burglary gear. That's abduction. Kidnapping.
Clearly malicious intent. This was a planned attack, foiled literally by a reflection in a TV screen.
Incredible. Just the randomness of that moment.
All right, for our final story tonight, we're heading to Thailand. And this one involves a betrayal from someone trusted.
The insider threat. Always complicated.
So we have a family mother, a 15-year-old son, 14-year-old daughter. They're visiting their luxury property there. Yeah. And their maid, Kamla, who they described as, sweet, really friendly. She was helping out. The mother had gone out for the evening.
Leaving the kids with the maid.
Right. The kids and Kamla are playing Monopoly in the evening. Just a normal scene. But the son later remembered Kamla seemed distracted, texting a lot on her phone. Then suddenly, Kamla just gets up, walks over to the back door of the house, opens it, and walks outside, leaving the door wide open. No explanation. Just leaves it open.
That's suspicious. Very suspicious. The signal, basically.
Exactly. That was clearly the signal for her accomplices. But then comes the accidental savior moment. Pure luck, or maybe just good parenting paying off.
What happened?
The sister, the 14-year-old daughter, just instinctively reacted. Parents always drill into, kids, keep the doors locked.
Right. Habit.
Pure habit. She immediately got up, walked over, and locked the back door that Kamla had left open. Shut and locked.
Wow. Just like that. Without knowing.
Without knowing anything was wrong. But that simple act completely derailed the plan. Seconds later, they heard someone trying the handle of that locked back door.
Kamla trying to get back in.
They looked through the glass panel on the door. It wasn't just Kamla. There was a tall, wiry man with her, yanking on the handle, swearing in Thai.
Oh, God. So the intruders were right there.
Right there. And now they knew the kids were inside and aware. The element of surprise was gone. The men then went around to the front and got into the house that way. They were inside looking for the kids.
Okay, so the kids need to hide. Do they have a panic room?
They had a safe room, but get this, it wasn't some armored vault like in the other stories. It was a wine cellar.
A wine cellar?
Yeah, hidden behind a decorative wall panel in the kitchen. Its defense wasn't steel. It was just that nobody knew it was there. It was well hidden. A secret room.
And crucially, Kamala didn't know about it.
Didn't know it existed. So the kids rushed in there, into the darkness.
The terror waiting in there, listening.
Imagine. And they could hear the men upstairs. And the men weren't searching for valuables. They were actively looking for the children.
What were they saying?
Shouting things, taunts like, "Kids, come out, we're friends with your parents," trying to lure them out. And one of the men just kept whistling, this really unsettling tune like he was calling a dog.
That's deeply disturbing. Hunting them.
Absolutely hunting them. The sister, somehow, kept it together enough to use her phone to call their mother. They didn't know the local emergency number.
Smart kid.
The mother obviously freaked out, called the police immediately. Sirens were heard approaching not long after, and the men bolted. Just like in Nigeria, they fled.
And Kamala, the maid.
Vanished. Nowhere to be found when the police arrived.
So the motive was clear then.
Became clear very quickly. Kamala had planned the whole thing with her cousin and her brother. The goal was to abduct the children and hold them for ransom.
And the only reason it failed
Was because the sister locked that back door. That tiny, instinctive action bought them just enough time to get to the hidden cellar before the men found them.
Unbelievable. What happened to them? The attackers? Kamala.
The men were actually caught about a week later robbing another house. Kamala and her brother. They were eventually arrested too, and both ended up serving time in separate Thai prisons.
Such a waste. Betraying trust like that.
Yeah. The family said she was always so sweet and friendly, threw her whole life away. And all because a teenager followed the house rules.
So looking back at all three, Nigeria, California, Thailand, there's a pattern, isn't there?
Definitely feels like it.
You have sophisticated security, bulletproof doors, hidden vaults, layers of tech. That provided the potential for safety, the means.
Right, the hardware was there.
But the actual survival, the thing that made the difference in the moment, it always came down to something unexpected, something random.
A silent dog.
A reflection in a TV.
A door locked by habit.
Or even dialing the wrong phone number. Human error, either by the victim or the attacker, or just sheer chance. That was the deciding factor every time.
It really makes you wonder, doesn't it? You can spend a fortune on security, plan for everything. But can you ever really account for that X factor, that random element?
It's a tough question. Where do you draw the line?
Yeah. How much preparation is enough? And when does it tip over into, paranoia? Especially when danger could be hiding in your car trunk or behind the smile of someone you trust. It's a chilling thought.
It really is.
Thank you for joining us for this deep dive into some truly frightening realities. If these stories resonated with you, if you appreciate these explorations into the dark corners of true events, please do support the channel. Make sure you like Danielle's speech and subscribe.
That really helps us keep bringing you these stories.
It does. The channel is Horror Docs. Join us again next time for another look into the terrifying side of reality.